Before you say one more word in English, stop. Because in the next 20 minutes, we are going to explain why your throat tightens, why your hands get cold, and why one small habit can help you more than another year of studying grammar alone.
That is a bold opening, Harry.
It is a true opening, Mia. This is not just a believe in yourself talk. There is a real reason your brain and your body react this way. And once you understand it, fear will never feel the same again.
Okay, now I am curious. Hey, English learners. Welcome back to the Speak Free podcast, your friendly little corner to learn easy English through real, everyday conversations. I am Mia.
And I am Harry. Today, we are not just talking about fear, we are opening it up like a clock so you can see every small piece inside it.
And once you see how the clock works, it stops controlling your time.
That is the whole episode in one sentence, and I did not even plan that.
Later in Word Corner, we will slow down today's strongest words. And in Fix the Sentence, we will take heavy thoughts learners say to themselves, like, everyone can hear my accent, and turn them into calmer, stronger sentences.
And if you want extra practice, the Speak Free Club has the full transcript, a vocabulary list, quizzes, and shadowing audio waiting for you.
So you do not just listen to the episode, you actually use it.
So if opening your mouth in English feels scary, stay with us. Because the first thing we need to talk about is the pause. That silent second when your mind goes empty.
Right. That moment when your lips move, but nothing comes out.
Most people believe I paused because my English is weak, but that is rarely the real story.
So what is the real story, Harry?
Your brain is running a quiet check on you. In less than a second, it asks, is this safe? Will someone laugh? Do I sound foolish? And while it asks all of that, it is also translating, building grammar, and choosing words.
That is a lot of work for one small moment.
Way too much work. And here is the strange part. This whole thing happens faster than you can notice. Your body reacts before your mind even finishes the question. That is why your palms get warm before you understand why.
I want to slow down here, because this is the part many learners blame themselves for. They think, why am I this nervous? It is only one sentence.
But to the brain, it may not feel like one sentence. It may feel like a small test in front of an audience.
Oh, that explains so much. A learner might be thinking inside, please do not notice my accent. Please do not judge my grammar.
And sometimes the brain expects embarrassment before anything has actually happened. To expect something before it happens is called anticipating it.
Someone is listening. Someone might be judging your pronunciation, and that can make you feel overly aware of yourself.
We can call that self-conscious. When you become too aware of your own voice, your pauses, your accent.
That sounds exhausting just to describe.
It is. And sometimes we read people's faces the wrong way, too.
To understand something the wrong way is called misreading it or misinterpreting it. Someone might look bored, but maybe they are just tired or thinking about lunch.
Exactly. A serious face does not always mean judgment.
But your brain may still whisper, be careful, this could hurt.
Especially if you have had one bad experience before. Maybe a classmate laughed once. Maybe a manager corrected you sharply in a meeting.
Maybe you said the wrong word one time and your mind replayed it for the rest of the day.
That replay can be so painful. The same tiny mistake, again and again.
And after that, staying silent starts to feel like the safer choice.
Silence says, no mistake today, no embarrassment today.
But silence has a cost too.
Yes, it protects you for one day, but it teaches your brain that speaking is dangerous for tomorrow.
Okay, I want to push back a little here.
Go for it, Mia.
I do not think just naming the fear is enough, because knowing the reason does not automatically make the freeze disappear.
True, knowing why a smoke alarm goes off does not stop the sound.
Exactly, and that is where a lot of learners get stuck. So what actually helps?
I think it begins here. You train your brain that speaking is safe by doing it in tiny doses, again and again, until your body stops treating it like danger.
And by tiny, we mean really tiny.
One short voice message, one question in class, one sentence like, I am still learning, so please be patient with me.
That single sentence can lower so much pressure.
Because it tells the other person, please give me a little space.
And it tells your own body, I do not need to be perfect right now.
So do not try to fight fear with force. Give your brain small proof that speaking is safe.
Gently disobey your fear, one sentence at a time.
I really like that line.
And one of the fastest ways to send that message is through your voice.
Which brings us to something odd but very useful.
Here's something that surprised me the first time I read about it. The way one person speaks can shift the entire mood of a room almost instantly.
Like a feeling spreading from person to person.
Kind of, yes. If someone speaks slowly and steadily, the people nearby relax a little without even noticing. If someone speaks fast and shaky, the room gets a little more tense too.
So our nervousness can spread to other people around us.
It can, but here is the good side. Calm can spread too.
Wait, so if I walk into an interview shaking and I slow my voice down on purpose, even just a little,
It can actually calm you down and calm the room a little too. Not magic, just how humans naturally respond to each other.
I love that because it means you do not need to feel brave first. You can just slow your voice and the confidence follows behind it.
Confidence follows like a younger sibling who always shows up a few minutes late.
That is very you, Mia.
And very true. Fear wants speed. Fear says, talk fast and escape.
But calm says, take one more second before you answer.
Yes, and here is where it becomes practical. Imagine your teacher suddenly asks, what do you think about this? Your heart jumps.
You want to answer instantly, but instead, you start with one steady sentence.
I have one small idea.
Then you pause.
Yes, I don't think the issue is always the phone itself. It's what you're doing on the phone.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, confidence is not only about vocabulary.
Sometimes confidence is rhythm.
And if your voice shakes a little,
Let it shake. A shaking voice is not failure. It is just nervous energy leaving your body.
the feeling inside you is usually bigger than what people actually hear outside.
Yes, so do not judge the whole conversation by how nervous you felt inside. Ask a better question instead. Did my meaning arrive?
And if meaning is the real goal, maybe we do not need the fanciest words.
We need the clearest ones.
Let's bust a common myth. A lot of learners believe, I need big words to sound intelligent in English.
Huge myth. Massive.
Explain it, Harry.
People trust short, clear sentences more than complicated ones. If you use a long, fancy word you are not fully sure about and it comes out slightly wrong, it actually makes you sound less confident, not more.
So a short, clear sentence beats a long, shaky one.
Every single time. Simple is not weak. Simple is strong.
I think this matters because a lot of learners feel embarrassed by simple English.
Yes, they think simple means basic, but simple can be professional. Simple can be sharp,
Sharp.
clear and strong, like a clean tool. Nothing extra, just useful.
That image works well.
I learned this lesson the embarrassing way, actually.
Oh, good, a Harry story.
Years ago, I was giving a small presentation, and I wanted to sound impressive. Instead of saying, we need a better plan, I tried to say something like, we need to strategically reevaluate our operational framework.
That is such a Harry sentence.
It got worse. I started confidently, then halfway through, I completely lost my own sentence. I used the big words, lost the small idea, and ended in total fog.
Total fog.
That was the painful lesson. If I had just said, we need a better plan, everyone would have understood me instantly.
That is useful because the goal was never to impress them. The goal was to communicate.
Exactly. When you are nervous, big words become heavy furniture in a small room. You keep bumping into them.
So use simple words whenever the pressure feels high.
In a meeting, instead of saying, "The deadline may not be achievable considering our current resource limitations," you can simply say, "I think we need more time."
Or can we talk about the deadline again?
Short, clear, useful.
And much easier to actually finish saying.
Okay, I want to disagree just slightly here.
Here we go again.
I think there is a place for stretching yourself sometimes. Trying a slightly bigger word just to grow. If you always play it safe with simple words, you never build new ones.
Okay, that is actually a fair balance. Simple as your base, new words as your practice, not your safety net in the moment you are nervous.
There we go, middle ground again.
Practice new words when the pressure is low. In a voice note, with a friend, while shadowing, or even in a comment online.
But when fear is already knocking on the door,
Use words you already fully control.
and if you still do not know what to say,
Do not panic. You may not need an answer immediately.
you may just need a question. Here is a fun one. Asking questions does not only help the other person, it helps you too.
How does that work?
When you ask someone a question, their brain actually gets a small burst of interest and energy. People love talking about themselves. So instead of panicking about what to say, you can simply ask something back.
So if I freeze, I can just throw a question back?
Exactly. What do you mean by that? Could you explain a bit more? It buys you time, it takes the pressure off you, and it makes the other person feel good. A triple win.
That is such an easy trick. I have actually used this one before without even knowing it had a name.
See, you are already smarter than you think.
But the idea is powerful. A single question changes the whole pressure of a conversation.
Yes, if someone asks, "What do you think?" and your brain suddenly freezes, you do not have to produce a perfect opinion instantly. You can ask, "Could you explain the last part again?"
Or, what exactly is the main goal here?
Or, "Could you give me one example?"
These questions are not weak at all.
No, they buy you time, and they actually make the whole conversation clearer for everyone.
I want learners to really hear this. Asking someone to repeat or explain does not mean your English is poor.
It means you are actively taking care of communication. In real life, strong speakers ask for clarity constantly.
Especially in online meetings, where half the room sounds like they are talking through a fan.
That is painfully accurate.
So just ask the question. Could you repeat that last part? Could you say that a little slower? What do you mean exactly?
A question is like a small door back into the conversation.
Nice. See, that is why I am here. You say fan, I say small door.
We balance each other out.
We really do.
So far, we have covered voice, simple words, and questions. But there is one more problem many learners face.
The giant sentence.
Yes, the sentence that starts with confidence and ends somewhere in a jungle.
Let's talk about that jungle.
Let's talk about long sentences. Many learners try to build one giant, perfect sentence inside their head before saying a single word.
And it usually collapses halfway through.
Yes, and this is where we can make speaking feel lighter. Here is a better approach. Speak in small pieces. Short sentence, small pause, then another short sentence.
A small piece of language like that is called a chunk, and small chunks are much easier to control when you feel nervous.
People's attention actually holds better with short pieces anyway. Long, non-stop talking loses people quickly, even in your own native language.
So chunking is not just easier for the speaker, it is easier for the listener too.
A win for both sides. Short and clear beats long and shaky.
Let's give one simple example.
Please, no giant example inside the giant sentence section.
A learner might want to say, I could not finish the report last week because there were many unexpected problems, and I was waiting for a colleague to send me the numbers.
That sentence is not wrong. It is just heavy to carry all at once.
So break it into small pieces. I could not finish the report last week.
Pause.
There were some unexpected problems.
Pause.
I was also waiting for some numbers from a colleague.
Pause.
So I need a little extra time. That feels so much easier to say.
And so much easier to hear as well.
Every short sentence gives your brain a small win. You finish one thought, and then you build the next one.
Like crossing a river using stepping stones,
One stone at a time.
speaking in chunks means you do not need the whole bridge ready before you start walking.
You only need the very next stone.
And if you forget a word along the way,
You simply explain around it. Harry, has that ever happened to you in real life?
oh, absolutely. That actually reminds me of a small suitcase story.
A suitcase story?
Yes, I once completely forgot the word for suitcase while telling a travel story at a friend's dinner party. Total blank.
What did you do?
I just said, the big bag with wheels that you put your clothes in. And my friend laughed and said, "Oh, a suitcase." And honestly, that little moment made the story more memorable, not less.
See, that is proof of something important. A real, slightly messy story sticks with people far more than a perfectly polished sentence ever could.
People remember how you made them feel, not whether every single word was correct.
Someone should really put that on a poster somewhere.
Write it down, Mia.
You know I will not.
I know, but I also know learners need to hear this idea clearly. Forgetting a word is not the end of a conversation.
It feels like the end inside your own head, though.
Yes, but from the outside, it is usually just a small pause. And sometimes it becomes the most human part of the whole conversation.
If I had stopped and said, "Oh no, my English is terrible," that moment would have turned heavy immediately. But instead, I stayed inside the story. I described the object, my friend helped me. We laughed, and the conversation kept moving.
That is the real skill, continuing after something goes a little wrong.
Because something will go wrong sometimes.
Of course, you will forget words, mix up tenses, start a sentence, and then completely change direction halfway through. Welcome to being human.
You might stumble over your words sometimes too.
To stumble over words means your words come out unevenly, with small stops, slips, or tiny mistakes.
But stumbling does not mean the conversation is ruined. It simply means you are speaking real, live English.
So learners need repair phrases, small sentences that keep the conversation alive.
I forgot the word, but I mean,
Let me explain it a different way.
how do I say this exactly?
Sorry, let me try that again.
These small phrases also show the listener, I am still here. I am still trying to communicate with you.
And here is where I want to be very clear. Real conversation is not an exam.
There is no invisible examiner hiding behind the curtain with a red pen.
I really hope not.
If the other person understands your meaning, the conversation is working.
Even if your sentence is a little messy.
Even if one word completely disappears.
Even if your accent is clearly there.
That feels like a good place to pause for a moment.
Yes, because now we have the main idea. This whole episode has a purpose.
And the answer was never perfect English.
It is a calmer way to walk through the fear.
Slow your voice down when fear wants speed.
Use clear words when pressure fills up your brain.
Ask questions whenever you need extra time.
Speak in chunks when one sentence feels too heavy.
And use repair phrases whenever a word quietly disappears.
That is more than enough for one conversation. We do not need to turn this whole episode into a suitcase full of tips.
No, now we need to turn these ideas into language you can actually use in real life.
So next, we will take the most useful words from today's discussion,
Slow them down.
make them practical.
And learn how to use them right away. Let's move into Word Corner. These are today's strong words from our conversation. Our first word is overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed means having too many feelings or tasks at once, more than you feel able to handle calmly.
In today's episode, we talked about how a simple question in a meeting can suddenly make a learner feel completely overwhelmed.
You could say, I felt overwhelmed before the presentation, but I managed to stay calm. Our next word is hesitate.
Hesitate. Hesitate.
To hesitate means to pause briefly because you feel unsure or nervous about what to say or do next.
You could say, I hesitated for a second, then I answered the question anyway.
Our next word is reassure.
Reassure. Reassure.
To reassure someone means to say or do something that removes their doubt or fear.
You could say, she reassured me that my accent was not a problem at all.
Our next phrase is fumble for words.
Fumble for words. Fumble for words.
To fumble for words means to search clumsily for the right word while speaking, often pausing or repeating sounds.
You could say, he fumbled for words at first, but then found his rhythm again.
Our next word is composed.
Composed. Composed.
Composed means calm and in control of your emotions, especially in a stressful moment.
You could say, she stayed composed even when the question caught her by surprise.
Our final phrase is buy time.
Buy time. Buy time.
To buy time means to do or say something that gives you a few extra seconds to think before answering.
You could say, asking a follow-up question is a great way to buy time in a conversation.
Today's words and phrases were overwhelmed, hesitate, reassure, fumble for words, composed, and buy time.
These words give us both sides of the episode, the fear side
And the speaking tool side.
And if you want to practice these words slowly after the episode, the Speak Free Club can help with exactly that.
Yes, you can read the full transcript, review today's strong words, try the quizzes, and repeat the shadowing lines out loud.
So these ideas do not just stay stuck in your head. They become real sentences your mouth can actually use.
And that is exactly why we need Fix the Sentence, because sometimes the hardest sentence is the one we say quietly to ourselves.
This is Fix the Sentence, where we take heavy learner thoughts
And turn them into something more honest, natural, and useful.
because sometimes the sentence that hurts us most is never spoken out loud.
It is the sentence we whisper only to ourselves. First sentence, I will definitely mess this up. That sounds certain, but it may only be fear talking.
A better way to say it is, I might feel nervous, but that does not mean I will actually make a mistake.
That gives the fear a name, without letting fear write the whole story.
Next sentence, everyone can hear how bad my accent is.
Such a common thought.
A better way to say it is, I feel self-conscious right now, but most people are simply focused on what I am saying.
That sounds kinder, and honestly, more realistic too.
Next sentence, I need the perfect sentence ready before I even open my mouth.
That thought alone creates so much unnecessary pressure.
A better way to say it is, I can break my idea into smaller pieces and say it one step at a time.
You do not need the entire sentence finished before you begin speaking.
You only need the very next small piece.
That feels so much more possible already.
Final sentence. If I forget one word, the whole conversation is finished. That one feels scary, but it is simply not true.
A better way to say it is, I can use a repair phrase and keep the conversation moving forward.
Because forgetting a single word never actually ends a conversation.
It just gives you a small chance to repair it and continue.
So today's better sentences are, I might feel nervous, but that does not mean I will actually make a mistake.
I feel self-conscious right now, but most people are simply focused on what I am saying.
I can break my idea into smaller pieces and say it one step at a time.
I can use a repair phrase and keep the conversation moving forward.
Keep one of these sentences close to you this week.
Especially before a class, an interview, a voice message, or any moment where English suddenly feels scary.
And that brings us to a very simple closing thought.
If your mind freezes this week, do not call yourself bad at English.
Pause, breathe. Start smaller. Ask one simple question.
You could say, I was exhausted, but I still felt wired.
Or, I drank coffee too late and I felt
Because speaking English was never about sounding perfect.
It is about staying inside the conversation.
That is your leap for today.
Go take it.
Thank you so much for listening to the Speak Free podcast.
See you next time. Bye for now.